Hey guys, Jingraves here, doing another one for you guys. This is day 5, um, video 2, and this is on one that I really enjoyed in the beginning. It got a little weird towards the end, and I feel like it didn't fulfill me too much. It still was good though, it still was a good read. Some of it was a little weird, I will have to say. Um, but, and this one is very misleading, I will tell you that. So this one is Holy Corpse Rising. And like I said, it's very misleading. A lot of the stuff in it comes down to these girls basically being witches and stuff like that. And there are a part where they almost go through like a Sailor Moon transformation, but there's never like a really like scantily clad scene like it is on the cover. So I think it's really funny how the covers are way worse than anything in the book, really. So that's one. This one is two. And this one is three. I'm going to show you guys these ones right now and hold off for a little while. Because these three are the main girls that are in it. So the premise behind the book basically is basically the Holy Vatican Church made a promise, and this is back in the day, way back in the day, with another kind of group of witches, which I don't think they have like an official name, but they're like the Witches of Diana, which is what they go by, kind of, sort of. And they're supposed to be the protectors of the world, basically. And what they did was they took off, they cut their ring finger off, and there's a ring on it. And basically, they were locked inside of these coffins. So this is where the crazy part comes in. The church was given a set of keys with the rings or the fingers as the keys. And so what happens is they tell this guy, which is an orphan, he gets adopted, and they tell him, hey, you've been reading all the books in the Vatican Library, and you know some about these like forbidden arts and magic and stuff that was in there. Um, we're going to get you to pick one thing in here, and you are going to um, pick one of these ladies and basically marry them. Whenever you put the finger back on, they see it as marriage, and then you can basically like superpower them up. It kind of works like, I feel like, besides Power Rangers, I feel like it also, or Sailor Moon, I feel like it also works with a mix of um, Sekirei. That's what it is. Works like a mix of that because they need something from you. In Sekirei, that it's just like they need a kiss, they need your lips. In this, it's they need something from your body, which we'll get into in a second. But they basically go into it in different situations. Um, the first one goes away, which is the lady in the book one. So he has to unlock the lady on book two. Later on, he's stuck. They're not around, and there's only it's him in this other coffin. So to protect the witch inside and do that, he ends up doing that and getting a third one. So now he's basically a guy with three wives, and each witch is basically upset about that because they're like, "You're only supposed to have one wife." And all this other stuff, and you're supposed to be true to us. Well, with that, they also have this thing that activates their powers that gives them their quote unquote like juice. One of them in the group is tears. Another one um, is sweat, and another one is blood. So as long as he can do any of those, he can basically power up all three of these chicks. Later on, we see some of the witches where they react to like saliva, um, spit, anything else. We don't really get past that. So I don't know if there's anything where it's any other bodily fluids, but there's like, I think there's supposed to be like 12 witches altogether, maybe 12 or 11. But one of the witches didn't go into this hibernation state. She didn't want to. She had somebody she loved, and they actually ended up basically like she cut off their head at some point, and the head still produces saliva somehow, which is weird. Which this is her right here. Again, we get this really weird scantily clad scene, even though um, the cover is as bad as it gets, really, when it comes down to it. But she starts this whole chain reaction of it. She doesn't go into the coffin. She stays out, and basically what she does is starts making these other witches, which they call them second generation witches, and it just becomes a nightmare. They try and rule over different places. They try and take over the people and try and like use the people in their domains and stuff as a source of nutrition. So it does get really weird when it comes down to it with those. Um, but you also find out that the guy is in love with the Pontifex, which is the lady on the front of this one, and he would do anything for her. Along the way, he meets some other characters, the witch that taught them. He meets one of the other ones, and they try and figure out what's going on. They find out that everything is together, why the witches were in the care of the church, and why they have to figure out what's going on with it, um, and everything, because there's just so much that is going on to it. There's so much being played into it. Um, and then towards the end, they find out that there's actually something that's been going on in the church, which was the person that taught the Pontifex. Um, they basically sat there and did all these experiments, killed off a bunch of boys that had magic bloodlines, because that's what you have to have to actually marry one of the witches, is have some kind of magic in your bloodline. Um, and they found all the boys that were like that and killed them off, and now there was just our main character, and they have to do that and defeat the witch. And at that point, a fourth witch comes out, not our villain one or the other three that he's already unlocked, but another one where you find out that they had a test, she was awakened, and then they basically turned around and killed him off. So you get this whole really muddled part towards the end, um, of really like what's supposed to be going on until they defeat the other witch and are kind of like, we've done this. You can keep your life, but you need to make sure you don't do this again. And that's kind of where it leaves it off. If she does anything, they're going to hunt her down. And they had to find a better place for their quote unquote sisters. So, um, for me, I would say this is probably like a 3-star series, um, leaning more towards 2. Honestly, I would say it's a 3, but that's giving it a few extra points. Um, but it's just insane how it starts out almost making you think that it is going to be one of the weird, almost like weird harem books or whatever, and then it turns out that it it does have a story, but then it kind of like sidetracks and rails it into a different direction, which is just really, really weird when you think about it and it comes down to it. But it is a good one. I do recommend it. I just recommend that you kind of figure out if it's your cup of tea or not. Don't let the covers discourage you. There's not really that much of that of nudity or etchy or anything in it. Um, but it does get wordy here and there. It does get a little gruesome here and there, but it is real good. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Holy Corpse Rising. Story and art by Hosanna Tanaka. Hosanna Tanaka. Um, like I said, it's really good, and it ended, I think, this year. So there is a lot of different stuff that you can enjoy about it when it comes down to it. But just don't go into it thinking that it is probably supposed to be like a harem book, because it is not. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Anyway, I'm Jingraves. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.